Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon. So today we'll cover about the Spring Boot embedded server. This is also one of the basic feature which Spring Boot framework provides us. So let us understand what is an embedded server. So embedded server is nothing but this web server which is included or attached within your application, so that whenever you create your application, it comes along with that package itself. So in basic applications or maybe older applications, what you used to do, you used to configure these web applications like JBoss, Glassfish or any other. You used to configure it externally and you deploy into that applications along with those servers, and then you go for those configurations everything. But here Spring Boot by default provides you the embedded of these servers, so that whenever you create a Spring Boot project, you have your server attached to it already, so you just need to run that application, that's all. So Spring Boot provides three basic servers as of now. So like Tomcat, Jetty and Undertow, all three are. So a few of the advantages like what I can mention here is like it's just a under the hood configuration which Spring provides itself and maintains itself, and very easy to set it up. So there is no external configurations, everything is required. You just need to have the one few dependencies here. That's all. Your server is set up and you are ready to run your application. By this, definitely development becomes very easy and fast, and whenever you are working with a microservices, it's like a cakewalk for you guys. Just you have to create that Spring Boot and attach it to your microservices configurations, and you can configure it, as I said, it just by a dependency change. If you want to switch between those servers as well, you can just change that dependencies. It's just a matter of a second. You just, whenever you switch a dependency, your servers got changed. So it's like no setup time, as you already aware of that Spring Initializer.io. You can generate a project using that, so it generates within few seconds, so that it's like it becomes very easy to create your project, run and everything, and it gives you more time to develop your business logic rather than all the configuration, creating a project, setting up the configurations, servers and everything. So that is the main idea behind it. So as I said, like Tomcat by default it comes. So how it is added in the Spring Boot, like let us go and identify the code wise. Let's see. I just created a small PPT for this. So let us see. Whenever you create a Spring Boot application, it includes by default Tomcat server within it that comes under the web dependency of the Spring Boot. So whenever you see the web dependency of a Spring Boot, right, Spring Boot starter web, it includes starter Tomcat by default. So if you want to override that, you just need to add that Spring Boot Jetty. If you want to use a Spring Boot Jetty, you can use a Spring Boot Jetty, or if you want to use a Spring Boot Undertow configuration server, like, and you just use a Undertow. So what you have to do is like whenever you want to include Jetty or Undertow or override or remove the Tomcat, you just need to explicitly remove or exclude those Tomcat dependency from your web and explicitly add these new dependencies with Jetty or Undertow to your application, so that it just overwrites and it runs on the specified server as well. So this is the main, whenever you create a Spring Boot application, this dependency is generated. The version is whichever your version using of a Spring Boot, and the same, like you can use that main group ID of the same one. So you can just required dependency from here or there, so you can just use those things from here. So I'll just go through and show you how it shows in the IntelliJ, which are configured. I'm just using the same Spring Boot project which I shown in previous my Swagger or a profiles project. So here you can see I just added a Spring Boot web I have. So I just commented out to show you guys how it works. So I'm just running on the basic Spring Boot web project. If I go to dependencies, you can see Spring Boot web. So here, let me do that here. Spring Boot web, inside that Spring Boot web, if you see, it contains the Tomcat of the same version of a parent one, so Tomcat. So whenever you generate a Spring Boot project, you will have by default Tomcat of it. Now you want to override the Tomcat, or you want to change the, see in the console also it shows that which one it is running on which port. So your Tomcat server is started whenever you run it. So you want to override it explicitly. So what you have to do is like, now first thing is I have to do a exclusions, like I have to remove a Tomcat from my web dependency, basic dependency, and I have to add a whichever the dependency server I want. So currently I want to use a Jetty, for example. So what I did, I just added it here. You can see those Jetty programs for which I have added. It will just load in a few seconds. So you can see I just refreshing my Maven dependencies so that it will reflect the latest version. So let us update the Maven dependencies, resolving all those things. Let us see, I see some errors here. Let's see. Okay, so this is the dependencies. Okay, I just reconfigured over it. What we can do is, like, we can just show you that dependency. Probably I'll clean it up, so you can just convert into those aspects of those things. So I'll just, it is running it, so it's a success. Let me run those things. So maybe you can see these dependencies added it here. Just a second, I have run it. Clean application, I'm running it. So this is the main important. So this is because of my local setup, it is showing you the error. That's fine, but you just remember that whenever you want, you just have to remove that dependency and add it, the explicit dependency whichever you want. So this is how this configuration of a Spring Boot server works. So you can just remove and add whatever you want. So here it is the dependency for Undertow server, and here it is the dependency for, I'll just show you, sorry, server configuration. Here you see, now you can see it here, it is for the enabled for a Jetty. So if you see, this is running on Jetty now. Previously it was running on Tomcat, now it is running on Jetty. So this is very simple. I'm just trying to make you guys understand like how you configure these dependencies and how you use your application server or web server, whatever you want. And it's just a basic information I'm trying to give you, which will help in the future end-to-end configurations or end-to-end projects which you're going to create. So this is how it runs, just a thing. So just remember that you need to exclude this Tomcat whenever you want to override Tomcat or you want to remove Tomcat and add other dependencies. So this is, so now you might have a question like these all our dependencies are there, but which one to use? Generally some studies suggest that Undertow is the best one, which is the fast and memory allocations or usage is also good and reliable as well. All three are good, but some of the studies suggest Undertow is good. Even I use Undertow for some of my personal projects, but it's depend on you guys, whichever you want to use, you can use. Guys, this is all about for today. I just wanted to give you the basic information about embedded servers within a Spring Boot, because this is one of the basic concept in a Spring Boot features, like which is most loved by everyone, which is most used by everyone as well. So thanks a lot. If you have any questions, please comment in the video sections, in the comments. Thanks a lot.